Hi guys, I'm Shweta Chandani. I'm a public health nutritionist by profession. First, I would like to wish you all a very happy Republic Day. Let's all take a pledge to make India healthy and happy on this Republic Day. The alarming health statistics are enough to alert and motivate us to take necessary steps towards to improving our health. As per the latest health statistics, approximately 80% of deaths are due to non-communicable diseases, and India has the highest number of diabetics all over the world. These numbers shake me, and we should definitely take steps for our health and overall wellness. I'm going to speak on the topic of inflammation, what it does to you, how you can manage inflammation, and how diet and supplement can help you manage inflammation. Now, what is inflammation? Inflammation is classically describes the four key signs: heat, redness, pain, and swelling. And sometimes the four signs combine to cause a fifth sign, which is temporary loss of function due to pain or swelling. In acute situations, inflammation is a useful tool in response to invaders or wounds. It is a sign that your body is responding as it should. Now, inflammation usually starts with a stimuli like pathogen, but it can also be caused by toxins or trauma. For example, after an intense workout, your muscles feel sore. That's due to inflammation trying to repair your overused muscle fiber. Now, or for example, when you are injured, say for example, you have a cut, the local area becomes inflamed for a short period of time to prevent the excessive loss of blood. This then activates a cascade to form a clot to protect the area from excessive bleeding. Now, inflammation is a useful reaction to infection to either destroy the pathogen or to completely flush it out. Or for example, when you have a cold, cough, or a running nose, body responds in the form of fever that helps you heal inflammation, does its job, gets rid of the virus, and it will disappear. Now, this was all about acute inflammation. Now, coming to chronic inflammation. The funny thing with chronic inflammation is you might not feel anything until it is developed into a full blown disease. Now, chronic inflammation is a major contributor to a variety of diseases we see today in our country, like heart diseases, diabetes, cancer, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, asthma, autoimmune disease, and also irritable bowel syndrome. Now, we come to inflammatory foods. What are the top inflammatory foods? Are sugar, refined starch and processed foods, red and processed meat, some cooking oils, possibly dairy, and possibly also dairy and gluten. Now we'll elaborate on each of these food categories. Heading on to sugar. Now, findings on nurses' health studies say that diets high in sugar, sweetened desserts, french fries, refined grains resulted in higher inflammatory markers. Another thing is high fructose corn syrup, which is a common ingredient in all the packaged foods that we see. Food manufacturers use it because it makes food sweet like sugar, but it is very less expensive and very common ingredient in the processed food. Now, HFSC is found in soft drinks like colas and also fruit juices, canned fruit, boxed dessert, flavored yogurts, baked goods, breakfast cereals, and condiments like ketchup, jams, and jellies. It is everywhere where it is not required. We can instead, if we are craving for sweet, we can instead opt for date as sweetener in the form of dates or nut balls. Now we understand that sugar is really tempting and addictive, and it is hard to say that I will limit to that one box of cookie, mithai, or that cake. The tip here is don't bring the whole box. Instead, buy a little amount, or else if you have the whole box, you will be more tempted to eat it. Now, another thing is refined starch and processed foods. In this category, we have anything and everything made up of white flour, that is maida. Example: instant noodles, cookies, breakfast cereals, cakes, pastries, samosas, pizzas, burger, white bread, the ladi pav, and the list goes on. Now we are very busy with our lifestyles and we are looking for convenience food, and ultimately we are replacing this with our traditional Indian staples. Tip here is to ditch the maida and all the processed foods out there and start eating more real food. Go for grains like quinoa, buckwheat that is kuttu ka atta, barley that is joe, etc. These are full of fiber and will give you more satiety for long time. Quinoa is a very healthy breakfast option. Now we come to alcohol. It has a very less nutritional value and is very high in sugar content, which could affect your liver and brain and cause a lot of inflammation if overused or abused. Instead, opt for healthy juices in between your meals like sweet lime and kiwi in to boost your immunity, and you can also have a limited quantity of red wine, but don't overuse it. Now we come to red and processed meat. Red meat is shown in a lot of studies with it causes higher oxidative stress and higher inflammatory markers. Processed meat and red meat, for example, beef, pork, mutton, lamb, etc., is associated with colon cancer. Tip: you can definitely become a healthier person by eating less or completely no red meat. Now we come to oils. Now, vegetable oils are the number one reason for causing inflammatory diseases. In olden days, we were using cold pressed, wood pressed oils. Since the time market is flooded with refined oils, we have significant increase in diseases like cholesterol, heart diseases, and diabetes. Today also we have small shops or mills where you can get your own oil churned. Go for it. Let us move back and start practicing what our ancestors did, or we can use clarified butter instead. That is ghee. You can use mustard oil, you can use groundnut oil, you can use coconut oil. Now oils can be very inflammatory for us. There are different type of fatty acids that are found in oils. You must have heard of omega 3 and omega 6 commonly. When the ratio of omega 6 is higher than omega 3, it can increase in inflammatory precursors, contributing to more disease state and can lead to more inflammatory diseases. Now we come to olive oil. Olive oil does not have omega 6. It has enough of omega 9 fatty acids, which is one of the best oils for cooking, but unfortunately it is not very suitable for Indian cooking because of its high smoking point. But you can still use it for stir frying or for say sauteing, or for you can use that in your salad dressings. Now we come to dairy. Dairy basically is high in arachidonic acid, which is a precursor to pro-inflammatory prostaglandins. On the other hand, diets low in arachidonic acid have shown to improve clinical signs of inflammation in patients with rheumatoid arthritis. Now, dairy can also be high in saturated fats, which is plentiful in cheese and full fat dairy products. Now, the study published in Journal of Nutrition in 2015 found out that the dairy fruit increase inflammation in small sample of adults. Human bodies are made to digest milk from animals. They are not made to digest milk from animals. Milk contains lactose, which is very difficult to digest. Moderate quantities is okay. Instead, opt for curd. Curd has good bacteria, which helps to keep your gut clean and healthy. Have a bowl daily of raita. The best form of having curd is raita. Try spinach and mixed sprout raita. You can experiment with different options. Now we come to gluten. Gluten is a protein that is primarily found in wheat, rye, barley, and oats. Gluten is a difficult to digest protein and may increase inflammation in those with gluten sensitivity. Oats contain avenin. It is a protein similar to gluten. Research has shown that most people with celiac disease can tolerate gluten-free oats with no problem. The issue is that sometimes oats are produced in the same field as wheat, barley, and rye, and then becomes contaminated with these grains. Now, celiac disease is an autoimmune disease which gets triggered with gluten. Now, if we see, celiac disease is more common in people with autoimmune diseases. It has been proposed that people with immune related disease may be gluten sensitive, and gluten is found in breads, cereals, pastas. It's everywhere, but we have a lot of gluten free options these days. And also you can go for natural gluten free foods. Say for example, we have foods such as sweet potatoes, rice, quinoa, beans, lentils, legumes are gluten free options out there. Now we come to lifestyle, our sedentary lifestyle. Overall, a sedentary lifestyle is a strong and independent risk factor for many chronic diseases. including diseases associated with persistent systematic inflammation. Now, these associations are related to increased morbidity and mortality and reduced quality of life and overall health life expectancy. Include daily physical activity in your daily life. As a general goal, aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate physical activity every day. Now we come to sleep. Studies have found out that not enough sleep or a bad night of sleep triggers a wide range of inflammatory reactions. During deep sleep cycles, the body is able to perform the housekeeping functions, reducing inflammation. Sleep is a vital and often the most neglected component of our every person's overall health and well-being. Now, sleep is important because it enables the body to repair and be fit and ready for another day. Getting adequate rest may also help prevent excess weight loss, excess weight gain, heart disease, and increased illness duration. Now, if we come to stress, when under stress, cells of the immune system are unable to respond to hormonal control and consequently produce levels of inflammation that promote disease. We all have stress in our daily lives, but we need to find out ways to overcome it. Exercise, working out regularly, meditation can be good for stress management as well as for your sleep. Sleep is one of the best ways to relax your body and mind. Relax your muscles, try deep breathing, eat well, take a break, and make time for your hobbies. If you are under deep stress, depression, or anxiety, please consult a specialist. Now, coming to diet and nutraceuticals, which can help you manage inflammation.